Hi folks, it's Twin Tubber here. Haven't been around for a while. Thought I'd make a new video and show off my newest acquisition, which I'm quite proud of. This is a Maytag Porta-Pair twin tub washing machine, as you can see next to my Simplicity twin tub washer that I acquired back in November. The Maytag I acquired about 6 weeks ago now, and this was a real treat to find, because not only did I get this beautiful washer, which you can see is in the same color as the Simplicity, the avocado green, but I managed to luck out and get this in a pair, or a set if you will, a true Porta-Pair. This, I'll try and get in as best as I can, is its matching dryer. And you can see actually the washer in the background now, with the dryer here in the forefront. And the beauty of these machines is that they actually match in dimensions equally. They are both exactly the same height, width, and depth, so they are a perfect actual pair. They have an advantage in their size and a disadvantage as well, and the fact is that because of their size, they can be a little bit small. You can't always get too much in them. Other times the advantage is the fact that they are so compact that they can go anywhere and into anywhere. And if you look into this machine, they're in really great shape, even down, as I like to show you guys, into the grooves and that kind of stuff. I've not had to do much on this. It isn't working right now due to the fact that there are two broken belts. One is from the washer and one is from the dryer. These are the broken belts. This is the dryer's broken belt. It's not for the drum or anything. It's to control the venting, and without it, obviously, the dryer would just overheat. The one behind it was for the washer's impeller. Thankfully, since I acquired another Maytag A50 in December, which was a 1980 model, I was able to use its belt for this. The dryer is in pretty good shape. It is a Maytag Halo of Heat style dryer, so it's very gentle on the clothing. It's not very large inside at all, but they dry very quickly, very efficiently. There's the tag to show the Maytag and everything, information that you need to know. It has a magnetic door, which is very neat because you can just give it a subtle little swing and it catches very nicely. It has a full 180-degree swing as well. I've never been a dryer aficionado. I've never thought dryers were that spectacular, but this little dryer fascinates me because it's the cutest little compact I've ever seen, plus the fact that it really is truly a mini Maytag all the way of its day. These machines, I found out, were manufactured in 1970, so they are the same age as the Simplicity here. I don't think they were used a lot in their day. They show some wear and some use in their ways, and I've taken it apart and stripped it and cleaned the washer up, not the dryer. But because of its durability, its build, being a Maytag, etc., it's a pretty strong little machine. Heavy, I must say, heavier than you could possibly imagine for a compact washer. Here's the back off, and you can see inside. I hope you get a good view of that. There's the V-belt running the dual impellers. The hose obviously can be extended a little bit larger so it compacts in. I'm going to try and get inside a bit and show you what I can. Let me get my trusty flashlight here, folks, to show it off a little bit better. Inside you can see the spin tube is it's this heavy solid thing. It's I can actually put that on. I need to hold it. It's the counterweight to keep the spinner from not going off balance too much. This is the spring arm for the brake. There's a fabric in there that reaches right in and pushes right into the brake, or the belt, sorry, and that's how it brakes the system. In back there, if you can see, you can actually see the pump. It is a true Maytag poly pump, the same types that were used on their full-size machines. It's got a 1/4 horsepower, I believe, motor driving the spinner, and I believe a 1/8 motor, or the same 1/4 for the wash tub. I am not exactly sure on that. impellers rotate at 400 RPMs, and they rotate for 30 seconds each way and stop, and then rotate the other way for another 30 seconds. So there, if you've never seen one, there's the back of a Maytag A50 with its back off. I'm not going to take the front off for now and show you. There's a front panel that allows you to get quicker access to the pump, as well as the brake arm that's back in there. There's a tension system that works for from the lid for the spin brake and the tension belt for it. So it's a pretty solid build little machine. I got to tell you, these Maytags may be tiny, but the reason I think that they're so heavy is because they're so darned well built. And looking at the simplicity back there, it's another very well built machine, but very different. Not only operationally, obviously, but they're both so well built and such wonderful machines. I love them both in different ways. They're a lot of fun to use. The Maytag has its disadvantages due to the fact it doesn't spin rinse, and that it is just so tiny that you can't always do a very serious load in it. So let's see here now. It rolls very easily. For its weight, it holds itself well, as you can see. It's got the definite two sides for the wash on the right. There's your money shot, dual impellers, and I don't call these fingers like a Hoover would be, or some of the lower bottom impellers would be. To me, these are more like thumbs. They're much larger than the average type of finger I think you find on some of the impeller models that have it on the side or even the bottom. This is a very small tub. It's very deep, very narrow. The impellers are actually very high in the tub. I'm not sure if you can tell by the ratio how high they are to the top where the water level is here. But they create an extremely vigorous wash action. They really move the clothes around. They don't just move the clothes around in the typical up and down as you'd think. Because of their dual impeller and the size of the tub, they almost create a slight tornado effect as well. So the clothes aren't just rolling around and around, up and down. They're kind of being rotated a bit in a sort of tornado effect as well. The spinner is small, of course, but it's quite well built. It's very sturdy, porcelain tub, very well balanced, as I showed you the post on the bottom, good spin mat. It has a kind of a quirky mechanism as far as I'm concerned. You have to push this in order for it to activate, and then it locks, and in order to release it, you push down in the middle of this and then back on that, and that releases it. It's one of the strangest configurations I've ever used in a twin tub, but it's not the worst thing either. As you can see, there's our wonderful Maytag logo. You come across to the controls. So very simplistic, extremely simplistic for draining, spin drain or wash drain. And then for your washing action, you've got up to 5 minutes of wash action, and it gives its recommended times for what it thinks are best. So 5 minutes in total. Every once in a while, I've done a little bit of a larger load than maybe I should have, and I've had to pull them apart a bit and play with it, and I'll put it on for an extra minute. But that's the most I would give, because these side impeller machines can be very harsh on clothes, and if you continue to wash over and over, you might actually end up doing more damage and tangling even more than you had hoped to have done in the beginning. This is neat that it has a really nice little grooved place to keep the hose, socket I guess, to keep this hose in, and it goes right into the wash tub for recirculating the water. It also came with something I've never seen on a twin tub, which is really smart. It came with a little clip to hook it onto your fill hose when it's hooked in, and that's pretty smart, because I'll tell you, this little drain is one heck of a powerful thing. Hoovers and Maytags work on the power of their spinner driving the drain, whereas the Simplicity is an electric driven motor, so it's a much softer pump, whereas these ones that are driven by the spinner, the pump is so powerful that the hose can just fly right out of the sink and all over the place and make one heck of a nasty mess. And trust me, I've experienced that firsthand. So don't try it at home, kids. It's not fun and it's not safe. So on that note, I think it's pretty much time to get this sucker started up. I know I'm walking back and forth and showing it off in different directions, and hey, I got a Kitty George there coming to see what the heck we're doing, and the good old Bosch is chugging away there and silently in the background. Got my laundry products ready. I've got a couple of loads over here ready to go. I'm going to do a couple of loads of whites, plus I have a load from yesterday that needs to be rinsed, and I'm going to do those in the Simplicity. I'm going to start in the Maytag, but because the Maytag does not do a spin rinse, which is one of its biggest drawbacks, I have to do that in the Simplicity, or when I eventually get it up and running soon, the Hoover. And so what you might get a chance to see is me having twin tubs going, and you getting to see that going. And boy, we've got one curious cat here at what we're doing and why are we making this video. So on that note, let's go in here and get this hose out and get that snapped up to the sink, and do the best I can with one hand. It's usually a two-handed job, but I'll see how well I can suffer here, folks. Get the hose now into the fill socket. I usually, when I'm using this and the Simplicity, I just use the hose from the Simplicity, but since I don't have the Simplicity set up right now, obviously I'm just going to do it this way, and we'll get that going. I've got good water pressure, as I've said in the past, so we'll get really quick fill up on this here. Now, I have a sweatshirt that did not come clean last time. It had a little bit of a spot, a pure white sweatshirt, so I'm going to use something I hate to use, and that is a little bit of bleach. But I'm going to use my typical, almost no sudsing, environmentally friendly detergent. Get some of that in now. Along with the borax and washing soda that I like to use too. Trying to do two things at once here, but I'm letting you at least see this here fill up. Okay, I think that's the most exciting part of the laundering process. And I got to tell you, these little A50s, they're fun little machines. They may be tiny, but they're powerful. As I said, they're heavy, they're built. It's Maytag through and through. You can say whatever you want, but they are pure Maytag machines. There's no doubt about that. I don't prefer it, honestly, to either the Hoover or even the Simplicity. If I had my way of any of the three machines I currently own right now, the Simplicity continuously wins hands down. It's a serious machine, serious agitation, serious capacity, and at the same time, maybe about 2 tablespoons of that's it. And at the same time, it can spin rinse. It's got pretty much an almost automatic rinsing program built into it. So that's my preferred method and machine. So I think I can go a little bit more powerful with the water now. And you let this get as high as that bar. The bar kind of acts, it has a dual purpose, really. It's not just that the bar is a water level indicator. It's more a protector almost. The impellers are so high in the tub that they actually throw up so much water that they need to, I guess that's, that's a protector from the water splashing up a little too high. And you're going to see what I mean in a moment here now. I'm ready to start this. I'm going to run it for about 30 seconds just to distribute the detergent and the bleach and all that, and then I'll put the clothes in and you'll get to see a 5-minute wash, and I'll do my best to try and keep my mouth shut while it's doing that. So here you go. Here's the 30-second, you know what, folks, it helps to plug the darn thing in, doesn't it? You know, it really does. It was really all the way, there we go. That's that there. And I also don't have the hoses snapped, which I should definitely do, because I'll be sorry for that a little bit later if I don't. There we go. So that's how I do that. When I'm actually using it side by side with Simplicity, I don't need to do that. It hooks over in this side, and Simplicity's hose here. If we get time in the video and we get to that point, you'll see that, what I mean. So, but for now, since I'm using it solo, I'm going to want to do that. We keep this in spin drain so we don't have any draining when we're spinning. And here we go. And because of those products that I use, if you've seen my video before, I've told you that I don't get suds in it. You saw me put it in, and not too big amounts, you don't need a lot, but they do not sud, so it's wonderful. You not only get an easier rinsing process, obviously, even though I still rinse several times, you get very little sudsing there, so it's a nice washing view, if you will. So here we go. Grabbing a load here, and this is that sweatshirt I was saying that had a little yellow stain from, I think I was eating curry, and darn curry's nasty, so I think I went off a little with the video there, sorry about that. So down you fall, and well, I'm not embarrassed, but I'm doing my long johns, my 2 pairs of whites. I've had a little bit of a knee injury incident lately, and I've been using some salve of some kind on my knee that stains them, so what the heck. And a couple of little rags. There we go. It's not a big load, as you can tell. That's not much. I mean, a sweatshirt, 2 pairs of long johns, and a couple of small rags. But it's a small washer. So here we go. I'll try and get different angles. It's hard to get too much in here with it just being a 5-minute wash cycle, but I'll do my best and show you from a couple of different angles so you can kind of really see how the currents really swirl around and really get those clothes moving around. What you find, if you look into the corners, the front corners, you'll see a sort of whirlpool action. You see how the water is swirling around into the corners and creating that, what I call tornado effect, just a whirlpool effect. So it's not just rolling them over clockwise and counterclockwise up and down in the water, but as it's sort of sideways, and you can actually see the currents going through the water, so that's sending water through the clothes as well as tumbling them through the water. It's pretty vigorous. an extremely quiet machine. If I put the lid down, you can hear there's a bit of splashing, but it's quite a quiet machine. Not as quiet as the Simplicity, quieter than Hoover. It's medium when it comes to the splash ability. I find it a very splashy machine, to be honest with you. Quite splashier than a Hoover. Definitely more so than the Simplicity, which is an agitator-based machine. So let's get this here transferred over. And as you can see, it does tend to like to tangle the clothes because of the fact that it is that impeller style machine. It's one of the disadvantages I find to some impeller machines. For its power and its ability to clean as well as it does, though, thankfully it is only a 5-minute cycle. Otherwise, I think it would really do a lot of damage to the clothes. I think that was it. That was it. Okay. The spinner, I find a very powerful little guy. It's, I believe, 2,000 RPMs, and I think that's about equal to what the Simplicity is. I've never been confirmed what the Simplicity is still to this day, but I know for a fact this is 2,000 RPMs. The Hoover is 23 RPMs, but I got to tell you, this thing, unlike any other twin tub I've ever used, I'm going to take a moment just before I start this spin, unlike any other twin tub I've ever used, when this thing reaches its highest peak of power, the power behind this little tiny machine is so awesome. You just really feel its true strength and ability when it's spinning. And here we go. Let's get this going.